There's a moment in your life that doesn't get talked about enough. It's not necessarily loud or dramatic, and there's no big announcement, right? It's just the moment that you realize you can't keep abandoning yourself to keep other people comfortable. And that's when it starts. For a very long time, I thought choosing myself meant I was selfish, like I was doing something wrong, like in a way I was letting people down. So oftentimes I stayed quiet. I stayed smaller than I needed to be. I stayed in my room drained because leaving felt almost cool. And I told myself to just deal with it and don't make it bigger than it is, or it's not that serious. But it was serious. It was costing me my peace. When you don't choose yourself, you start disappearing in pieces. You say yes when you mean no. You laugh when something hurts. You have to constantly explain yourself to people who already decided not to understand. And slowly, you stop checking in with yourself at all. You don't ask what you need. You ask yourself what everyone else expects from you and of you. And as most things, choosing yourself doesn't happen overnight. It starts with exhaustion. That kind of tired sleep that doesn't ever go away or fix itself. The kind where you realize you can't keep living like this. It's the moment in time that you catch yourself thinking, I can't do this anymore, or this is driving me insane. Not out of anger, but out of honesty. And people don't tell you this, but choosing yourself comes with guilt. You feel bad for setting boundaries. You feel bad for changing. You feel bad for walking away from those relationships, even when staying hurts you. Because you were taught at a young age that love means sacrifice, that loyalty means endurance, and that a good person means tolerating pain. But that's not love. That's survival. There's a difference between being patient and being neglected, or between being understanding and being ignored. There's a difference between compromise and self-abandonment. And learning that difference is part of choosing yourself. Some people will not like the version of you that chooses peace, because the old version of you is so much easier to control and to walk over and to manipulate. The old you over-explained, overgave, overstayed. But the new you takes a step back. The new you thinks. The new you leaves when something feels wrong. When people make you feel uncomfortable. I want you to look at it like this. Choosing yourself means disappointing people who benefited from you having no boundaries. It means accepting that not everyone gets access to you anymore. And I understand that's difficult, especially if you grew up learning that your love had to be earned. And I want to make it clear, there's grief in this process. You grieve that version of yourself all the time, who didn't know any better. You grieve all the time that you spent trying to be enough for people who were never going to meet you halfway anyway. You grieve relationships that only worked when you were silent. And yes, that grief is real, but something bigger than that happens too. You start hearing yourself again. Your instincts come back and your voice gets clearer. Your body starts to relax and you stop forcing those connections. You stop chasing the closure. You stop begging to be chosen. Because you already chose yourself. Choosing yourself doesn't mean either that you don't love people. I don't want you to look at it that way. It means you stop loving them at the expense of your well-being, which are two very different things. It means you stopped setting yourself on fire to keep others warm. And it means you learned that walking away can also be an act of self-respect and not failure. And I will say, you won't always feel strong doing it in the moment. Sometimes choosing yourself looks like shaking hands, like second guessing, like crying after you set a boundary. Strength isn't always confident. Sometimes it's just honest. And there will be days that you want to go back to your old ways, back to what's comfortable and the familiar pain, back to being needed, back to being chosen by others, instead of choosing yourself. And in those moments, I want you to remember why you even started in the first place. Remember how it felt to constantly have to explain yourself, to feel unseen, to feel small. Peace shouldn't feel like a punishment. And choosing yourself is not just a one-time decision. It's daily. It's choosing rest over trying to prove something to somebody else. Silence over arguing. Distance over disrespect. It's checking in with yourself before you say yes. It's asking, does this cost me my peace? And if you're in that season right now, where you're choosing yourself and you feel alone, you're not wrong to feel that way. But I also want you to know that you're growing. And not everyone can come with you. Especially to the version of life where you respect yourself. And that's okay. One day, you'll look back and you'll realize that choosing yourself saved you. Saved your energy, saved your heart, saved your future. And you'll be proud that you listened when it truly mattered most. If nobody has told you this yet, or ever in your lifetime. You're allowed to choose yourself. You're allowed to change. You're allowed to walk away. It's not selfish. It's healing. And like I said before, I know it's gonna suck because you're in it right now. But I promise you, you will come out stronger and a better person through it all. Before I end this video, I just wanted to say thank you. Truly, thank you to everyone who's still here and watching, even when I've been quiet. And I do want to say sorry for not uploading as much lately. I know I've been inconsistent. Life has been screwing me over in ways I didn't really expect, and I've been trying to deal with a lot of things behind the scenes. Some days it's been hard just to keep my head straight, let alone show up on here and be present the way that I want to be for you guys. I didn't disappear because I don't care. If anything, I stepped back because I care a lot. And I didn't want to force content when I wasn't in the right headspace. I needed time to get through things, to process, to breathe, and to choose myself a little. So if you're someone who stayed and waited, who checked in, or even just kept watching quietly, I see you, and I appreciate you more than I know how to explain. I'm still here. I'm not done. Thank you for being patient and understanding with me and giving me that grace. It really means more than you know. Also, sorry if I sound like I'm in the wilderness right now or all over the place right now. I got told to come into work today. Then my manager was there and asked me why I came in, which doesn't make any sense, and she said you should just go home. And on top of that, my sister has my car today, so today's just been one of those days. So bear with me. Life's been really messy, but again, I appreciate you for sticking around through it. As always, stay rolly.